Welcome to our Facebook Live. I'm Dr. John Douillard. And, today I want to talk about something really special in Ayurvedic medicine, how Ayurveda activates herbs. But before I do that, I want to thank you all for listening and joining to our Facebook Live every Wednesday, Mountain Time, 11:15. Sometimes I'm running a little late. I have patients I have to see, but generally that's the time we do a Facebook Live. And I want to thank you all so much for joining us, and to thank all of our dedicated Facebook listeners. We put on an exclusive sale this week where you can go and get the code off of our wall on Facebook, and you can go to our store at lifespa.com/store. A lot of you don't even know we have a store. We do have a store with all Ayurvedic herbs, and you can go there, and as a way of us saying thank you, there is an exclusive sale for you guys as Facebook listeners. So thank you so much for joining us and checking us out and watching us weekly and liking us and liking what we do. One of the things I think that we do here at LifeSpa.com, we prove ancient medical wisdom with modern science, mostly about Ayurvedic medicine. And you look at research out there, and the research, it can prove whatever it wants. Coffee's good, coffee's bad. Milk is good, milk is bad. Soy is good, soy is bad. Chocolate, so many things that are sort of on the edge. A ketogenic diet is good. A ketogenic diet is bad. I mean, you can go on and on and on. And when you take ancient medical wisdom, things have been practiced for thousands of years, and then you find research to back it up. Wow, that to me is something that we should at least look at. I mean, take the lymphatic system, for example. In Ayurvedic medicine, the lymph is the first circulatory system we evaluate and treat, not the blood. First the lymph. Lymphs are the drains, and the blood are the faucets. We treat the drains first. There's volumes of research on the lymphatic system in the medical journals, volumes, which might take 10, 20, 25 years, they say, before it reaches medical practice. So what we do here at LifeSpa.com, and thank you so much for joining us weekly and checking us out, is we go back and find the ancient medical wisdom, mostly of Ayurvedic medicine, and then we try to find the science to prove it. And if I can put those together, I'm going to write about it. I'm going to present it to you. It's what I use here clinically in my practice to work with patients. And we try to deliver to you in a way where you can really help hack into and accelerate the awareness of therapies that actually do work. Because there are volumes of research. And I thought when I started this idea of ancient wisdom in medical, ancient wisdom in modern science, that I would run out of things to write about from the Ayurvedic perspective because there would be no science. And boy, 15 years later, how wrong was I? There is so much research, but that's not getting into our living rooms to get the benefits. So that's why, what we do here at lifespa.com, and thank you all for listening. Again, there's a sale we're offering right now exclusive to our Facebook listeners. You get the code on our wall, and check us out on our store at lifespa.com/store. We have a whole store's worth of organic Ayurvedic products. And talking about organic, today's topic I want to talk about is how Ayurvedic medicine activates herbs, right? So Ayurveda was about trying to get the best effective therapeutic effect from the herbs and the support that you get. And they call it activating herbs. And it's done by combining herbs in special ways to make the herbs work together, which is really cool. And the first way that that's done is with the bugs, with the microbes. Ayurveda said that there were invisible and there were invisible and visible little microbes. The lettuce leaves you pull from your garden, sometimes you see little bugs on them, and sometimes you just scrape them off, and sometimes you don't eat that lettuce. And then there's for sure bugs on every strip of lettuce, thousands of them, because they're the invisible ones. Ayurveda called them krimi. And they change, according to the science, in the soil from season to season to season. The plants in the soil change from season to season to season. Those plants attract certain bugs, and those certain bugs become our food, and they change our microbiome from season to season to season. And they therefore support our ability in the winter to boost immunity, in the spring to decongest us, in the summer to get rid of heat. And it's a powerful understanding that the bugs support the biochemistry of the herb. So when you take a whole plant or a whole herb, you have thousands upon thousands more microbes than you were if you took an extracted herb, which is a sterile product, or a processed food, which is a sterile product. We want to keep inoculating our bugs with more microbial diversity. That's the key. And the more processed foods we eat, the more we kill them. So one way to activate your herbs is to take herbs that are alive, which have the bugs. And turmeric is one of my favorite examples. When Ayurveda took turmeric, they would put it in the curry and mix all these herbs together, and it created a medicine in the food that they were eating. And the science showed about 15 years ago, they took turmeric and added black pepper, 16 parts turmeric, 1 part black pepper, and boom, all of a sudden it amped up the absorption of the turmeric by 2,000%. Turmeric is a hard to digest fatty substance, and it needed help to get across into the bloodstream. And that's how it was done traditionally. Nowadays, we take the curcumin, one of 300 constituents, and we give you that in a sterile form, and you get one of 300 constituents with no bugs on it in a sterile form. And I've written articles about the benefits of turmeric and curcumin, and there's benefits for both, but there seems to be even more benefit when you take the activated version of turmeric, when you take the turmeric and the black pepper and put them together, which I think is pretty powerful. When we put those herbs together in our formula called Turmeric Plus, we measure the microbe count in the turmeric alone, in the black pepper alone, and then we have to put them together and make a formula. 16:1 is what we do in our Turmeric Plus. Then we have to take another microbial count and see how they look. And we have to do tests before and after every herb that we make. And when we put them together, the microbe count just exploded. And my manufacturer said, these are like probiotic levels of good bugs. And we always make sure they're good, not bad. If they're bad, we actually literally send them back or we throw the herb away. So it's like probiotic levels. I was like, wow, that's the magic of Ayurveda. Taking an herb, putting them together, and activating the herb by putting 2 herbs, simple turmeric and black pepper, amping up the microbial intelligence, amping up the absorption by 2,000%, and boom, we activated the herbs. So that's what we do here at LifeSpa. I've been in clinical practice for more than 35 years, and I've been formulating herbs based on ancient wisdom and modern science and clinical practice, and putting herbs together that we truly activate our herbs. Another example is Boswellia, which is the herb that we use for the joints, or healing and repairing the intestinal skin, for helping to support the body's natural anti-inflammatory properties. Then Boswellia is powerful, more powerful in that regard than fish oils, even more powerful than turmeric, believe it or not. If Boswellia was shown to block the 5-LOX lipoxygenase inflammatory pathway in a massive way. But in Ayurvedic medicine, that was only effective when you combine the Boswellia with ashwagandha, with turmeric and ginger. And when you put all of those together, the Boswellia was absorbed in a significant way. Boswellia is a resin, it's frankincense, so it's hard to digest. Where a lot of companies take Boswellia and they take MSM and take chondroitin and glucosamine, put it on a pill, and you get the joint formula. And that's not Ayurvedic. Ayurveda was whole herbs with the microbes, combine them in an intelligent way that boosts and amps up their absorption level, which is something really important. Shilajit, a classic herb in Ayurvedic medicine, one of the classic adaptogens, one of the herbs that was used for thousands of years to build energy and stamina and vitality. The only herb that they actually literally call the panacea, because it seemed to do everything, because it worked on such a deep fundamental level. Turned out that when you blend it with ashwagandha and amalaki, it amped up its bioavailable. So that was the traditional way of doing it. The more I dig into the research of Ayurveda, the more I am blown away by the intelligence of Ayurveda, and particularly in all areas, but in this particular area, how the herbs were so, the formulation and putting the herbs together were so powerful, and how they activated the effectiveness. Trickatu, a formula we call warm digest, has been used as a driver for your food. I mean, it's black pepper, ginger, and long pepper, and just taking those 3 together can make your food and digestion more efficient, and highly absorbable and efficient assimilation of your food and nutrients. Taking that formula with other herbs allows those herbs to be digested. It was one of the first bio enhancers of our food was Trickatu, and lots of science was written on the effectiveness of Trickatu for delivering nutrients in ways. Ghee, another food you can take with your food to help deliver the vitamins and minerals in a more efficient way, because the fats act as carriers across the cell membrane, another powerful way of delivering that. There's so many examples, and that's what I've been loving to do over the years is formulate these herbal formulas like Elim 1, which is Triphala, which we've all heard of for supporting intestinal elimination. But it's 3 drying herbs that can sort of dry out your intestinal tract and make it difficult for you to get off them. And I'm all about in all of our formulas to get on them, get better, get off. We don't want to create dependencies on any herbs. We want to restore function, get on, get better, get off. That's the goal. Well, Triphala, when I first got into practice a long time ago, I couldn't get people off of it. It was very difficult. So I formulated a Triphala with slippery elm and marshmallow, licorice rather, and put a little tiny bit of psyllium, which we put psyllium in water, it sucks up all the water. So that psyllium in the capsule will attract the water, activate the licorice and the slippery elm, make the herb slimy, lubricate with soluble fiber your intestinal skin, and support the healing and repairing and the sliminess of your intestinal tract with the tonification of the bowel from the Triphala, and you get a formula for elimination. You can get on, you can get better, you can get off, which is powerful. Our Gentle Digest formula, phenomenal formula, 5 spices, ginger, cumin, coriander, fennel, and cardamom. How they knew that each of those individual herbs are powerful for your digestion. But when you combine ginger and cumin and coriander and fennel and cardamom, that somehow they work in a synergistic way to amp up the production of your own stomach acid, your own bile, your own pancreatic and duodenal enzymes is what these herbs do when they're all together. And that's our formula called Gentle Digest. A way of activating the intelligence and the effectiveness of the herb is what Ayurvedic medicine does, using whole herbs, right? Whole herbs that have all the biointelligence with them, all the microbiology with them to really deliver the best impact. Other herbs we have, like all of our herbs, when you look at them, all of our formulas are combined to amp up and activate the benefits. Some of my latest fascination, combining ancient wisdom and modern science, was really understanding biofilm. Bugs everywhere, plaque in your teeth is a biofilm. Slime on a rock in a river is biofilm. These films that keep the bugs in safe haven so they can grow, multiply, do their thing, right? And herbs like neem, which was called the village pharmacy. Everybody went to the pharmacy for anything they had, they would get neem. Tulsi, an herb that is called the incomparable one, the herb, the mother of all herbs. All these amazing names that some of these herbs got because they were so effective. Turns out that they are at the fundamental level. They work on so many different things because they break up biofilm. Tulsi has ursotic acid and eugenol, which are biofilm breakers, but those are actually very volatile. So eating the entire Tulsi plant live, fresh, was really critical to get those benefits. If you dry it and make a tea, you lose a lot of those and you don't get those benefits. So what we did, we took a critical extract of the volatiles of the Tulsi and the whole herb, put it together, and then we have a formula that gives you the best of both worlds. So one example of sometimes how we do use extracts in combination with the whole herb to give you the best effectiveness, in this case as a biofilm mover. Neem, phenomenal herb. The village pharmacy, it has been shown to work on so many different levels because it breaks up biofilm. So it breaks up isolationism, nationalism, you could say, in the gut where bugs isolate themselves in little pockets, and we breaks them up. So these bugs have to, experience a global environment where we all have to live together, work together, and fend for the health of the body together. And that's what some of these herbs do. And when you combine them properly, neem with a little bit of amalaki and guduchi is a phenomenal way to just amp up the biofilm breaking down and support the intelligence of that herb. Make it a little bit easier to digest and have sometimes a little softer impact on the intestinal skin. And that's another rule, Ayurveda, kind and gentle. Always support the intestinal tract with kid gloves. Never aggressively kill, destroy, cleanse, detoxify the intestinal skin. It's extraordinarily delicate. The bugs in there are like the 3 little bears. It can't be too dry or wet in there, or too wet or mucousy in there, too hot or cold in there. It's got to be just right. And to keep it just right requires seasonal foods that we change every season, whole foods, no pesticides, no processed foods, organic foods that are whole foods that, a 90-95% plant-based diet is the best way to go. And we provide a grocery list and a recipe list for you guys for free. That's published every month at the first Saturday every month, called the 3-Season Diet Challenge. It's a free monthly seasonal eating guide. Don't miss that, because that's for free. We update it every month to help give you more information about all the research on seasonal eating and how important that is. All right, guys, I hope that gives you some great information. Check out our website at lifespa.com/store. You can see all of the herbs that we do and how we activate them. And there's an article on my website there about activating Ayurvedic herbs as well. And of course, again, thank you all for listening. And don't forget that this week we're offering a sale for our Facebook listeners. And you go to our wall to get the code for that. And it's 20% sale. So enjoy that. And we'll see you next week. Every Wednesday, 11:15 Mountain Time, we do a Facebook Live. All right, see you next week.